And just forget about that part. Okay.
Well, you're like my neighbour now. You're nearly my neighbour. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? It's around the corner. So I'm on Desert Avenue. Okay. The red brick.
Yeah. Okay, and so one more. All right, my friends. Let's get seated. Let's get cracking. Just let the two people online coming in. It's warm. I switched the heating. They've been leaving it really warm.
I don't mind.
I think it's switched off now, so by the time we kind of get going, should be all right. Oh, so good to see you all. Yay. That's great. All right. So, just waiting for one more person online. But we'll start seated, so do use your blocks. I've got blocks, you've got bricks, but that's only because connect the palms to the right side. So the right side is representing of the sun, the active day, masculine. And in this mudra, we invite all those different elements to join together, to balance and support, to be happy and to celebrate that we are these complex beings. And we can welcome in all those different parts. So we're going to further bring that left and right side, the night and the day, together with some alternate nostril breathing. So just take the right hand and rest the middle finger and the index finger between the eyebrows. And with your internal gaze, rest your eyes behind your fingertips, right there. So you can almost tap and feel that you could look to that point inside your head, inside your brain. I'm going to exhale fully. Close the mouth and close the right nostril. Inhale through the left nostril, through the Ida, the feminine side. Close the left nostril and exhale that feminine breath out through the masculine side, the sun side. Inhale right. Through the day, close the right nostril, exhale into the moon. Inhale left. Through that intuition, close left, exhale right. Through that action, inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. And just keep going for a few more rounds, so inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Do a couple more. Last one. And when you finish that one, just release the hand down. So we're going to come from here into the asana portion of our practice. So sort of clear your space, have your blocks and your strap ready, and it is quite hot in here, so if you want to take some close off, we're going to be building some heat. So we're going to take the sort of idea of a seed. So seeds are like the leftover potential from the year before. And we're going to come down into child's pose. So just sort of rest down and see how that feels. You can always put something underneath the heels to sort of support where the bum, the space between the bum and the heels. You can always just put a block in or put a bolster in there. I'm just going to bring down, so think about the seeds or an embryo or like a beginning. And let's just start to rock from left to right. And sort of feel the forehead rocking left to right. Let out a few exhales. Any sound that wants to come out, just let it out. And we're going to take the right hand forwards and put the palm on the mat. We're going to take the left hand backwards and put the palm behind us. And we're just rocking. Rocking, soften your belly. Just feel that sort of soothing quality. Self-care. And reach the fingers, so walk the right fingers further away, the left fingers further away. And then we're just going to switch sides, so right hand back, left hand forward. Just working with the opposites, rocking gently side to side. And just sort of receiving that soothing attention. And now take both hands out front and come up onto your fingertips, still rocking side to side. And we're going to lift the head up and look up to the ceiling. And then tuck the chin down to the top of the chest and drop the head down. So inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. That's it. We're going to stay up. We're going to draw the fingers back, bring the hands to the ground and lift up, come into a sort of quite narrow tabletop and just sort of cat-cow the belly. That's it, just sort of cat-cow, waking up the spine. It's like the seed is starting to grow and come out of its dormancy. And then we're going to tuck the toes under and drop the hips back onto the heel. And we're just going to circle the right arm forwards and around in a big circle. Just around in a big circle. See if you can sort of weave your breath into the movement. And change directions. So we're kind of going in a vertical shape right now. And then we'll come to the other arm. It doesn't matter which direction you go, just remember in the middle. And we're not in the middle yet, but reaching, feeling that space expanding between the sort of sit bone and the fingertips, and come the other way, round in circles. And just let the movement and the breath be all that you need. All right. So now we're going to have the hands forwards and just glide forwards and all the way backwards. So sort of find the absolute edges of where you can move. So guiding forwards. And there's that feeling of kind of growth. So you're going a little bit beyond yourself and a little bit behind yourself. So just gliding, Just gliding within yourself. And when you get to the point where your physical body stops, maybe just the invitation for there to be a bit of movement beyond the body. And come forwards. And backwards. Good. We're going to find ourselves in tabletop. And we're just going to take the right foot behind us and press the ball and toe of the back foot down. Try and soften the shoulders out and feel into every fingertip and thumb tip. And we're just going to tilt forwards and backwards. So just tilting forward, you're going to bend your elbows as you tilt. And maybe the head comes down towards the ground and comes back up. And then we're going to stay up with the leg up, and we're going to take the left arm forward. So this is a posture called sunbird. And if that feels too intense, you could either bring the hand down or bring the knee down. But if it feels okay, stay up there. And really, again, reach to the depths of your movement, to the fingertips, to the toenails, like really reaching. And then we're going to bring the hand down and bring the head towards the knee. We'll do that 3 times, so reach out and curl in. Reach out and curl in. And then let's explore. So we're going to tuck the heel down towards the buttock, and we're going to take that hand back and just see if we can catch the heel or the toe or the trousers, anything, and just pulling back there. That's it. And it can be lower, knee can stay on the ground if you like. And come down. And we'll come back to that sort of cat-cow, trying to get as much movement in the spine. So really tuck the tailbone under, really raise the tailbone up. Really draw that breath in and press it out. That's it, brilliant. Good. And then we're going to do the other leg. So left leg back and sort of feel down into each of your toes, your little toe. Can you even feel your second toe in, your third toe in, your fourth toe? Really sort of drench your awareness into your body. Good. And then we're just going to glide forwards and backwards. Just gliding forwards and backwards, and we'll lift that leg up a bit. Just gliding, like we're sort of taking a little dive or a peek over an edge. So building some strength. Good. And then we'll bring the foot down, have a little moment, a little breath. Sort of see if you can line up your shoulders over your hands, lift the back foot, lift the front arm. So right arm and left leg. And again, this opposite balancing. Really reach the fingertips and the toe tips. Draw your belly button in towards your spine, lift your pelvic floor. Bring the hand down and knee towards the head, or just be in your body 100%. In your breath, mind in the body. One more. And then take that knee down, realign it underneath your hip. And we're going to tuck the left heel in towards the buttock and lift. Take the arm back and see if we can just find that leg. And press back into it. And if it's not the leg, it could be your trousers. And the knee can also be on the ground. You can come back. So cat-cow, we're going to build into a sideways shape. So we're going to take the right foot behind you and have the line up the hand, the knee and the foot. So, and if you need or want to turn your mat around, you're more than welcome. So we're going to come into a gate pose. So just take the arm up over. No, just be my mirror, yeah, that's it. Just take the arm all the way over and let it drop. So take the arm towards the window if you're facing the window, towards the wall if you're facing the wall. Let that sort of breath out. Then we're going to bring that arm either just parallel to the ground or towards the sky. And we're going to lift that back leg up. So again, building that strength. If that feels too much, just bring the leg down. And then we're going to see if we can tap the toe to the fingers. Toes to fingers. And let there be an element of play. So if things don't feel like, oh, I don't know quite what I'm doing, this is a bit difficult, play with it. Don't let it go into anything more than that. Brilliant. And then put the left foot down again. We're going to lift up, hands by the sides. I know we're all in different directions. And then we're just going to take the arms down the legs. So side body, hands by the side. Both hands just moving down the legs. That's it. Good. And then we're going to take the hands to the front. So both hands are in front. So whichever hand is in front of your knee, take it under and put it onto the outside of that leg and drop the chest down. So just drop the chest down. That's it. That's wonderful. Fantastic. Good. Now feel that juicy stretch in the hamstring. Two more breaths. That's it. Good. And come up. So come into the middle, cat-cow. Again, and you know, you can bring like a circle. Let's bring a circle in this time where we're just gliding around. Gliding around. And change directions. So change directions. Let's let some air in. And then we're going to go to the other side. So you're going to take the other, whatever leg you did the first time, you want the opposite. And it's almost like there was a line on your mat that lines up the heel of the arch of your foot, knee and hand. Take the arm up and over. Wenjuan, take your hand out to here. This hand out to here. That's it, perfect. A bit of help. So take that knee behind you. This one. So it's like more, yeah. So it's like this foot out here. And then this leg out here. That's the one. That's it. That's it. Good. And then you are going to lift that leg. Sorry to keep you all waiting there. You're going to be so strong. I should have kept you in this pose waiting. So up. Sort of really that feeling of like, where can I reach my heel to? Where can I reach my fingers? And bring that leg down. Come up. For that sweet joy of less effort. And then we're just taking the arms down into the sides. And feel that side body. Good. And then hands down, and whichever hand is in front of the bent knee, you're just going to slide it under and towards the leg. It can stay on the floor, it can go onto the leg, and then dropping down. That's it. Breathing. That's it. And we'll come back up. Bring the knees in a little bit more cat-cow. And then tuck the toes under and sit the heels back sit the hips to the heels. And we'll just come up. So we're in a sort of virasana. We'll take the right arm across the body. And just gaze behind yourself. You can just wrap the arms around. And to the other side. Breathing. Good. And then we're going to unravel that. So knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. And we're just going to lift the knees up off the ground just a couple of centimeters. So just keep the knees low. Feel that power and strength coming in there. And welcome it. And if you start having a bit of a shake, that's okay. We're just going to come up now and come into downward facing dog. So down dog, have a sort of walk through the heels. And come back to this moment right here. Don't worry about anything that's gone before or anything that's to come. Be right here, 100%. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift the right leg up and drop it down. And we're going to go slow. So we're just lifting the right leg up and dropping it down. Lifting up, dropping down. And then we're going to switch legs. So just lifting and dropping. And see if you can lift the heel a little bit higher this time. So really sort of challenge yourself a little bit. What would it be like to make a little bit more effort? One more. And then we're going to just walk the hands backwards. Walk the hands backwards until we arrive in standing forward fold. That's it. And just let everything drop down. The head. And we're going to start moving a little bit from left to right. Left to right. And slowly, you're just going to slowly come up a little bit higher each time as you rock. And you could almost put your hands on the outside of your legs, gauging a little bit higher each time, a little bit higher each time. That's it. Working your way up, just coming up. And keep going. So we're going to keep tapping the arms. So we're twisting. And we're going to take the arms up and twist. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the elbows down. So elbow towards the waistline on the opposite side. Take the legs a bit wider. Elbow into the top of the hip. Elbow down to the middle of the thigh. And just go slow enough so that you feel comfortable. Elbow to the knee. And come back up and to the other knee. And if you feel like it's quite tiring, then just don't come up. Just stay down and just go lower. So middle of the shin. And then imagine that the elbow was reaching all the way down to the toes. Even though we're not getting there, but we're just visualized. And then take the arms out to the sides, interlace the hands behind you, and take the hands all the way up to the ceiling. That's it. Breathing. Good. So a couple more breaths. And we're going to bend the knees. Bend the knees. And take the arms out front. And we come into a sort of wide chair. Tuck the tailbone under. And come all the way up. So just a moment. So we're going to come to the back of that. We're going to start with an earth salutation. Usually we do sun salutation. We're going to do earth first. So Tadasana. And take the feet a little bit wider so your little toes are on the outside of the mat, maybe even further. And we're just going to bend the knees down. And sort of invite the shoulders to just move along with us. And then we're going to take the arms up, bring the palms down back to that position. And we're going to come down and we're going to come all the way down. And if squatting's not your thing, you can always just sort of have your fingers here. You can hold it in a different place. You're going to bring the knees down. Maybe turn the feet out if your ankles are okay with that. And we're just going to sort of be in this pose called frog pose. So just take it easy. Try to loosen out the jaw, shoulders. Good, so stay another 2 breaths. So from here, we're going to bring the knees back in line with the elbows. And we've got some options. So you can either just sort of stay with the knees down, or you can lift the knees up and be in an elbow plank. So see which version is going to suit you today. And really honor that, what you need. Don't worry about anybody else. And we're going to bring the hips down and find ourselves in Sphinx pose. And just walk the hips backwards. Lift the heart. Feel where the breath travels. You're going to lift the right foot, so keep the knee bent. We're just going to gaze back, see if we can catch a glimpse of that foot. And then the other one. Lift the left, bend the knee. See if you can gaze back and see the sole of your foot. And come down. Going to again plant the fingers and lift the elbows. And then we're going to come down with the skin, the fabric of the front of the body, and just dropping the chest, dropping down and down and down. Good. And take the hands, just hover the hands and the elbows by your sides, and just see if you can lift a little bit. So it's the front half of locust pose. And if you feel like you've got a little bit more energy, you could lift the feet up. Either a little bit, a lot, or not at all. But the idea is planted. Bring the hands down. Keep the hands by the shoulders, the elbows tucked in. Leave the hands and the knees exactly where they are and come into happy baby. The heart opener, Anahatasana. That's it. That's good. That's right. Good. Good. So 2 more breaths. And see if you can get a little bit of movement between the sitting bones and the fingertips, like lengthwise. And then we're going to come up into downward facing dog. So just coming all the way up into your down dog. That's it. Pressing through the hands, push the hips back. That's great. And then we're going to turn the feet out. And we're going to walk our way back into our squat pose. And again, squats can look really different for different people. Some people, they're going to be, nice, simple posture. For other people, we might be in different places, and that's just absolutely great. And then we're going to come up through the midline. And circle. I'm going to go again, so it might feel more familiar. Down through the midline. Hands down, knees down, feet turning out. And you can just gauge how much you want the knees to go out and just really listen to the inner thighs. So inner thighs, you want them to be opening but not, shouting or screaming. That's it. Good. One more breath. And we're going to bring the knees in and come into that plank pose. So knees can be down or knees can be lifted. So keep the stability of the breath going. And drop the hips down. So monitor your lower back. Maybe walk the elbows out a little bit. And this time I'm going to look over. And let's drop the chin all the way down to the left elbow. And come back up. Take it over to the right shoulder. And drop the chin down to the right elbow. Feel all that juicy opening. And come back up. We'll do the same again, coming up with gecko elbows. Lifting up onto the fingertips, spreading the shoulders. Pressing the thighs downwards and coming down, slow, 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 slow. Feel your pectoral muscles getting that real deep opening. And then hands hover by the side of the body. As we lift up the front, pull the pelvic floor inwards. And then maybe the legs can come up. You can bring the hands down. Maybe they both stay up at the same time. It's just seeing what's there today. That's it. Well, and come down. Hands by the shoulders, coming back to Anahata. So just come all the way back there. Coming up. Couple of breaths. That's it. And then up to down dog. So just coming up to your downward facing dog. Soles of the feet on the ground. That triangle shape. That's it. That's it, good. So feet at hip width is a nice place to be. Pressing back through the fingers, dropping the heels, lovely. And then we're just going to walk back, take the feet wide and come into a squat, whatever that looks like for you. And then we're going to come up through the midline. So let's come to sun salutation, so come to the front. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. In your own time, in your own breath. Halfway lift. And sort of really look up towards the ceiling. And bow down. Let's do that same movement again. So inhale up. And exhale down. So just coming down. Down and down and down. Bow the head. Hands on the shins. Lift the head up, sort of arch the back, like you're looking up to the ceiling. And come back down again. One more of those. So inhale up. Exhale down. So making like a circle with the arms. Flowing down. Drop the head. Hands on the shins, halfway lift. Bowing down. So from here, we're going to take the right foot back. And drop the knee down. And just circle the arms out to the sides and up. Drop your shoulders. Bring the hands down to the ground. Going to lift the left arm up. So just what we did last week. And to the other side. Trying to keep that knee over the ankle. And come back. So from here, from the hands being here, we're going to walk them back so that we can take the hips backwards and just lift the heel there and drop down a little. So really opening that hamstring. That's it. So let's have that's it. So lift up, keep your leg out the front there. That's brilliant. Bring the leg out. Like this. That's it. You can always. I'm not very steep, but that's okay. Just take it easy. Okay. Great. And then we're going to come back through and just come through to our plank again. So you'll get to see the familiar shapes. So stay for about a couple of breaths. And then we'll drop down to the ground again. Walk the hips backwards. It's like you're lengthening the spine and the spaces between the vertebrae. Hands just in front of the shoulders and coming up. And sort of a softness in the shoulders. Pull the heart forwards. Gazing up. And come down. Hands back under the shoulders. And press back into that same puppy dog pose. Tuck the toes and come into your down dog. That's it, so down dog. That's it. Feel your own strength. That's it. We're going to bring the right foot through. So keep the hips really high so that you can sort of bring that knee towards the collarbone and then plonk it forwards. Or if that's a bit too much today, you can just sort of literally bring that right leg through. So we can either stay down here and go through the same sequence, or you can lift the back knee if you feel stable and do the same shapes, but with that back knee. And then I'll twist. So you can be up or down. And the other side. And you can also use your blocks to bring the ground up a little. Brilliant. That's it. And then we're going to bring the feet back through to the front. Bow down. Halfway lift. Bow down. And circle all the way up. Just have a few breaths. Inhale again. So inhale, hands up. We're just going to go right down this time. Exhale, bowing down. Bow the head. Halfway lift. So bow over. And then we're going to take the left leg back this time. So same sequence as last time. Bring the knee down. And get into that juicy opening. Bring the hands up, shoulders down. And really press. If you want more stability, press down through that front knee so it's like a real support. If we're just all floppy, you don't have that same activation. And then we're going to go for the, doesn't matter which side, so opening with that twist. And to the other side, and you can also just bring blocks. If the ground feels like a far away place, bring the blocks in. That's it. And then we're going to come into our plank pose. So lift the back knee and come through. And try and keep the mind with you. So just be in that breath. One more breath and we'll come all the way down. Walk the hips backwards. And come up to our Sphinx. So see if you can really plant the bottom of the body. Maybe you can find a little bit more space by lifting the elbows. Pressing the toes back. That's it. And we'll come down. Hands under the shoulders, back to puppy dog. So just press up and just take the hips backwards. Drop the chest down. That's it. Good. That's great. 2 or 3 breaths. And then spread the fingers and rise up to downward facing dog, that triangle shape. That's it. That's it. Downward dog. Good. That's it. Really press through the fingers and the palms. Take the heels down. Yes. And then keeping the hips high. Imagine getting the knee up to the collarbone and then just planting that left foot. And the back knee, again, can be up, it can be down. You can have blocks on either side of you to allow you to, well, lift. So knee can be down. And bring the hands back down. And you can do a twist. So let the blocks help you if the ground feels too far away. That's it. The other side. And down. And then we're just going to bring the hands to our aid and go back here like we did on the other side. So just from the front, walk the hands back and drop down. Drop down. Good. And then we'll come forwards and bring that foot through and bow down again. Have a little shake out. Pace through the heels a little bit. Halfway lift. Bow down. And circle up. Hands to the heart. And exhale. So let's do a little bit of balancing as we're working on balances. So I can just, somebody leaving. Right, okay, somebody's doing the gardening. I'm just wondering what's going on out there. Do we have an intruder? So you're going to stand on your right leg and have your left leg at the calf, up into the groin or at the ankle. And stare with all your intention ahead of you. And take the arms up. Or leave them at your heart center, wherever you feel where you are stable. Drop your shoulders. And bring the hands back. So just tap the foot down a second. And then we're going to lift the foot out in front of us. Wherever it is, could be low. Doesn't matter if it's low. And then from there, we're going to take it behind us. And lean our way into Warrior 3. And again, you can see where you want to go today. And come back up. And the other side. So tall through the center of the body, wherever you want to be. Press the palms. Raise the hands up. Keep the shoulders sinking. A bit of space in the jaw. Maybe open the arms if you want to. And all the way back through. Just release the foot a second. And then we'll take that same, your right foot out in front, lifting as high as you can, building some strength, and then taking the foot back, reaching backwards. See where it takes you on this day, in this moment, and come back up. Now let's circle the hips. And if you get any niggles, you know, just sort of get your knuckles in there and release. So a little bit of massage in the lower back. Okay. So let's do a warrior sequence. We did the warrior sequence down below. So let's take the right foot back. You're just stepping back in the same railroad line. Bend the front knee. I'll just follow you there. So there's a little tuck here. Take the arms up. Sort of see if you're feeling really like active, you might want to go with more depth. And if you're feeling like what you really need today is more ground, then just bring the legs a little bit wider and a little bit closer. So arms up. And keeping that knee exactly where it is. That's it. That's it. And then we're just going to lean back and lean forwards a few times. So it's like the arms are just traveling through like a ridge in line with the knee, in line with the thigh. Stay with your body, stay with your breath. If the mind tries to drag you off, just tell it to stop. Good. And then next time you're up, we're going to stay there and we're just going to come to center. And then we're going to take the other arm forward. So you see how it sort of becomes a little bit awkward. And then we're going to do a little bit of a tap. There's nowhere to rest upon at the back, but we've got a lovely, juicy, twisting extension going on. That's it. And then let's just come to B. And then we're going to stay there and we're going to come into pyramid pose. So just walk the feet out a little bit. And really get that back foot facing forwards. And the hips, almost like they've got lights shining out of the hip bones forwards. Both legs are straight. Have your hands on your front of your hips and lean forwards. And lean forwards and drop down. So pyramid. You can see the shape. And you can physically pull your hips backwards. Yeah. Breathing. Notice that little bit of movement that's still happening. And then leading with the back of the head, we'll come all the way back up. And just rest a moment. I'm so hot. Are you all hot?
The sun's shining right on me. I'm sweating.
Sorry. Right, we'll do the other side now. Yeah, I can see we've got little pink faces. It's really hot in here. Right, so now the other side. That's it. So that's same. So if you build a pose from the bottom, so take the feet a little bit wider than they are. So the foot is not behind you, it's to the side of you. So it's just a simple step back. That's sort of bringing the lights of the hip bones forwards. That's it, that's good. That little tiny tuck, just rotating the pubic bone forwards. Arms up, shoulders down, heart forwards, yes. Bend the front knee this time. And then we'll take the arms back. So this hip has to go somewhere, it goes back. And then we're going to do the same tapping and gliding. That's it, good, nice. Good job at home. And that feeling of being in the tips of your fingers, spreading all around the heart. And you press down with your feet and your knees, so it's like really quite a strong bottom half of the body. It's like a swan swimming under the water. The top half looks all like, oh, this is so easy. The bottom half is working hard. Good. And then we're going to take the arms to the sides again. Whichever knee is in front, you're going to take the opposite arm. So take the arm back. So we've got that pulling and opening of the heart. And again, we're just going to drop and lean back. And just really go in rhythm with your own body, what you've got today. And let the breath flow in on one leg of the journey and out on the other. That's one. And then when you come up this time, we're just going to stay up. Walk the foot out a little bit and straighten both legs. So the hips are coming back to facing forwards. So you literally get your hands on the front of your hips, lengthen your head out towards the window and drop down, drop down, drop down. And just let things settle a little bit, and there will be more movement to come. More movement. And we're going into the sort of deeper depths of the body. The reserves and those yin spaces. And we'll come back up again. Lead with the back of the head. And just walk the feet back in. Have a little shake out. And then we're going to come down to the ground. Let's do a little bit of core before we're working our way down. Now all the hard work's done. So just going to lift the knees up, hover the elbows. Lift the spine upwards. Maybe stretch the hands out. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. Lift the pelvic floor. And then maybe see if one leg wants to reach further. If this is too much, bring the hands down. Or keep the knees bent. Maybe the other leg. So this is boat pose. So the pose is here. And again, if you're having a bit of a shake, that's good. Don't worry. And it can be low. It can be high. There's lots of variations. And we'll just drop the feet down. Hug the underneath and pull the back away. So have your hands holding on to the other arm and let the back pull back and let the back really arch. Drop the chin down to the top of the chest. Breathing. And let those tissues, those big sheets of muscles, soften outwards. And we'll come up. So we're just going to take the hips towards the heels. We're just going to roll back and come into happy baby. So if that feels comfortable, just laying on the back and having a bit of a rock from left to right. And feel how the back is received by the ground. Back is held by the ground. And let the back of the head roll as well. We sometimes forget that the head is attached. Rolling from left to right. Left to right. I'm going to plant the left foot down and cross the right foot over the left knee. So you've got left leg on the ground and the right ankle is just resting there. Hands on the ground. What we're going to do is just lift the hips up a couple of centimeters and activate the pelvic floor. So the left foot stays on the ground. You're lifting your hips. So really feel your pelvic floor steadying you. And if your pelvic floor is not yet strong, that's okay. You are strengthening it right now. And slowly drop the hips down really slow. Get the hands behind the left leg and draw that left leg back. Let the face be smooth. Yeah, that's it. That's it. See if you can lift that leg. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just roll over to our, so Claire, you're right, but the rest of us are left, because you're a one-off. So just roll the legs over toward the other side, Claire. Go to the other side. That's it. Winch one, go the other way. Go that way. Yeah, that's it. I love it. I love it. So that nice deep twist. And sort of maybe play with what you want to do with your right arm. If you want to open the armpit and that pectoral muscle, have the arm above the head. If you want something that is quieter, maybe just have the hand resting on your right hip. So really tailor your practice. Have a little sigh. And then we're going to unravel, go back onto our back again. So just do the opposite. So for most of us, it's a bent right leg and left leg on top. Claire, your opposite, my darling. So just the opposite. Hands on the floor, palms pressing down. Steadily lift the lower back, even just like a centimetre. Feel that pelvic floor just like activating. It's so cool. Lift up a little bit higher. And try to hold it steady. Try to not deviate left to right if you can. That's our intention. It's just holding our center. And then very slowly come back down, dropping the hips. And then so the foot that's on the floor, wrap your hands behind that leg and lift up. That's it. Oh yes, we're professionals now. That's good. And breathe into that hip, all that space. And then drop your legs over towards the foot that was on the ground. So take it over that way. That's it. Good. So that's it. That's it. Good. And you can take the arm above if you want to open. That's it. Good. Lovely. Good. And take a few breaths. And then one deeper breath. And we're just going to roll onto our backs again, and we're going to come into our resting pose. So we'll do a relaxation. So if you need to put a little bit more clothes on, then do that. You just get what you need, do what you need to do. So we're going to do a visualization. What we're going to do is we're going to plant the seeds of spring around the body. To let the body soften into the earth. That's good. If anybody wants a blanket, just let me know, give me a wave. So let that ground receive you. With all your weight. With all and every, each and every part of you. So just let the back of the head, the weight go. Shoulders. Space behind the heart, let that go. Behind the belly button, let it go. Left leg. And right leg. And both arms. Just really let the whole weight of you and everything you need to let go of, let it go. And come to the forehead. And just smooth out any wrinkles or ruffles. Let the troubles go. And see, it's almost like looking out onto a clear horizon. Maybe you can visualize a garden or a wild space full of spring flowers. Maybe you could even smell some of those daffodils, crocuses, hyacinths. And let that horizon open up, so let it travel down to the ears. So broad vision of those spring flowers growing through the earth. Leaves, little tiny soft lime green leaves popping out on the branches. And see that big wide horizon ahead. Maybe there are hills. Maybe there's a view all the way to the sea or a lake. And we're going to take that vision of spring down to the space between the collarbones. So like we're exploring a landscape. Let there be that sort of vision of spring flowers. Maybe there are a few birds flying around. Blue skies. And all the way out to your shoulders on either side. Snowdrops, crocuses, new life. Down to the left elbow, down to the wrist, on the palm of the hand, left palm, onto the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. So that vision of spring, that sense of spring, all the way down the left hand, maybe on each of the fingers a flower is blooming and growing. Like that life force. And back and over to the right shoulder, that vision of spring, that wide and broad horizon. And down to the right elbow, wrist, on the very palm of your hand, like a plateau, maybe like a meadow with grasses growing, swaying, spring flowers, butterflies. You can smell the air And a flower on the thumb, index finger, on the middle finger, on the ring finger, and on the little finger. So a whole wide expanse, traveling from the fingers on one hand to the fingers on the other. And take the awareness back to the center. Travel down the breastbone to the heart center and open up that space like a meadow. And a soft wind blowing the grasses, lily of the valley, beautiful spring flowers popping out everywhere, leaves on the branches, clear blue skies, a whole meadow in the heart, peaceful, expansive. And to the belly, rest your awareness at the belly, soft belly center, again like another plateau between the hills. Maybe there's a lake, flowers popping, breeze is blowing, that newness. Breathe in, sort of see that vista. And travel further down. So let that expanse of the meadow of the middle travel all the way around and down to the left hip, down to the left knee, down to the left ankle, and to the top of the foot, the sole of the foot, and flowers sprouting on the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. So lively spring all down the left leg, and come back up to the center and over to the right hip. Feel that spring energy there on that right hip as we travel down the right thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, top of the foot, sole of the foot, big toe, a flower, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. So all around the body now, the whole body, just like a whole landscape of spring energy, meadows and pastures, rivers and seas, new leaves, blossom popping, blue skies, the whole body full of spring, the whole body. So gently feel the breeze rolling all across that body of spring, that landscape. And find that breath now in the nose. So feel the cool air of the inhalation in the nose. And start to come back to your body on this mat, in this space. Listening to the sound of the birds right outside. And Visualize the outside space here with its verdant green grass, daffodils, signs of spring. And just sense into the back of the body, part of the ground, and start to deepen the breath, deepening the breath. And this feeling of spring now, spring energy coming back into the body, the desire for a little bit of movement, a stretch, maybe moving the hands, maybe moving the feet, and taking in all that spring that lies within you, that potential. As you arrive back here in this day, knowing that this exciting spring is happening in each and every one of us. So in your own way, stretch or yawn, bring yourself back to the now. And when you're ready, rolling onto the right side or left side, just rolling onto a side. And stay there a moment. Just resting on the side. And when you're ready, slowly coming back up to seated. Just take your time, make your way back. So just find a way to be comfortable in your seat. And we'll just end with a minute or two of meditation. Don't be afraid of meditation, it is just simply being. So sense into where the body touches the ground. And just focus on sensation in the body or the breath. Use the breath as your anchor. So whatever the mind's doing, just be the watcher of that mind. And it's in that moment where we realize we are not our minds. If we can watch our mind's activity, then we are not our minds. Bring hands back to the heart to balance the left and the right. So I'm going to sound the bell, so just rub the hands together. Bring that heat and warmth and the day back. I'm just going to rest the warmed hands onto the eyes. And rub the hands together one more time. And then if you have a body part in need of a little extra love, a little extra energy, just rest the hands on that part. If not, just go back to the eyes for a second time. Thank you so much for practicing together.